And then we went down to Sundre to help my cousin build some stuff. So while I was doing that, Rejeanne and my cousin's wife went to the church service in Sundre. When she got back, she says, "Do you want to go to Uganda?" I went, "Huh? What?" I don't know, maybe. So she said that this pastor, Pastor Randy, the big fellow in the picture there, had been planning this trip. He was working with a school down there. He'd been working with them for a while. He wanted to go down there and kind of rebuild and update the school. So I said, "Well, that sounds like something that's interesting."
When are you going?
Yeah, this was in December. And he's like, "We're going at the beginning of February." I said, "Well, that's interesting." So I said, told Rich, I said, "Well, I'll think about it." Like, yeah, something to consider. So we got home. That was about, what, a day later?
Yeah.
The phone rings and it's Pastor Brandon. "You guys are serious about coming? This is an answer to our prayers." I'm like, "Okay, well, how do we say no to that now?" And so we said, "Okay, we're in. What the heck? Let's see if we can make this happen." We're not sure how we're going to make it happen in that time frame, but we're going to get it to work. So, as it turns out, we really didn't know what he was planning at that point, or if it was thought maybe it was a group. It wasn't a group. It was Pastor Randy and his friend Fred were the only ones going at that point. So it's like, okay, well now I guess there's 4 of us, and we thought, being that Randy had been involved with this school for a while, I guess we thought or assumed he'd been there before, but that wasn't the case either. None of us had been to Uganda, so it was all new. Yeah, it was very interesting. And I guess in the next couple of months, while we were trying to figure out how we were going to do this, it was quite interesting, because anytime we had a question or concern, it seemed like within, a day?
Yeah.
There was an answer or a solution just put in front of us. It was like, I guess this is meant to be. Like, this is, as Randy says, God's hand was involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just amazing how everything fell into place. And I'd never experienced anything quite like that, how it all played out. So it was. I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to add about how this all came about?
No, that's about it. It was like we put it out there that we would like to do something, and God was like, "Hey, here you go. These people need help." We're like, "Okay."
and I think without us being there, it would have been a lot more challenging for the 2 of them. But so I think we did play a part and help. But, so that's kind of how it came together. I could probably talk for 2 hours, but we could. You want to just show the slide, and you can jump in when.
Oh, I'll try. Sure.
All
so
right.
yeah, in February we went for 3 weeks to a little school, the Randy Figge New Star Community School, just outside of Jinja in Uganda, which is just off of Lake Victoria, which is the 2nd largest freshwater lake in the world. And we met up with the principal of the school, Samuel, and his wife, Annette. And yeah, it was great. It took us 2 days to fly there. And this is our unexpected journey. 2 days of flying. And a lot of luggage. A lot of luggage. That is Pastor Randy there and Fred. Oh, good. Oh. Nathan slowed it down, so we're a little bit better now. This is the village we stayed in, the villa. which is very nice. They had a little boy named Gary. He was not shy at all. And it was called To Siberia Villa. And this is the school with the kids. They were so excited to see Pastor Randy. They were singing when we arrived and everything. Our original plan was to rebuild one of the structures though, and that wasn't going to work out, so we built a new structure out of concrete blocks, and we had to drill holes in them, a lot of holes, 3 weeks of hole drilling, because they don't have power. We had to use electric tools, battery operated, and they would get hot really fast because it was hot there. It was beautiful. I'm sorry, it was minus 40 here, we were plus 30. We were so sad. This is the first Sunday we were there. I got to go to church with the kids for a little bit. And then we came back, the men were starting to drill the holes. And we got to play. We brought them a little parachute and brought them a few little things. They got some soccer balls and kind of tried to teach them some fun things, bring a little fun into their lives. They're kids, right? On the right there, you can see their bathroom. That's that building, which is no toilets. You squatch over a hole. But we never had to pee because the water just evaporated from you. Yeah. In our villa, we had toilets, but at the school. The kids were very interested in all of the building processes. We had wonderful workers working for us, construction crew. There was a father and his 2 sons and a worker. And yeah, the kids, they call it baby class. It's kind of like their kindergarten, preschool, and then it goes up to like grade 7. And one of the best parts was that we brought a whole suitcase and a half full of dresses from Dress a Girl program. Sorry, I'm not close enough. Sorry. So Nathan's aunt is part of the Dress a Girl program, and they sent us 170 dresses for the girls with underwear in their pockets. The only problem was these girls are tall, very, very tall, and we're a little bit worried that we would run out of dresses. But they were all so excited to get a dress and underwear. Yeah. And they got to pick, I'd bring out a couple, and they got to pick their own, which they thought. And then they also got these little flat Stanley dolls. Yeah, they really enjoyed the dolls. I think more than the dresses. I would enjoy a toy more than a dress too. So, you know, it was through the same program, that Dress a Girl program. That his Aunt Kathy is part of. No, Aunt Donna. Sorry. Yeah, so we had a lot of blocks to drill through. Lots of blocks.
They were all solids. They were 65 to 70 pounds. So it was worth out.
The first day we were there, the blocks were coming. The guy was like, "Well, you got to hire my workers. Your workers are too slow." I'm like, "No, it's okay. I'll get them to work faster." So I did.
She started unloading those blocks, and they thought, "Uh-oh, we better suck it up here."
Yeah, and then they'd have music playing, and I like to dance. The gentleman in the picture there, he is Isaac, man of God. He was one of the teachers there at the school. He actually lives at the school, and they used to they'd sleep on the ground. They didn't even have a bed. It was just on the ground. So Pastor Randy bought new beds for the teachers too. And this is just part of the schools. That's the building we were supposed to fix, but we just painted it instead. And then we were lucky enough, our driver from the villa, he is part of an orphanage. He's started an orphanage over in Uganda for these kids in the picture. So we went there one Sunday and got to visit his village and yeah, give them some dresses, and they showed us some of their culture, and I taught them some more songs and hopscotch. They were quite grateful for everything. We brought some little soft squishy balls, and Nathan couldn't open the package fast enough and he was being mobbed. Yeah. This is still from the orphanage. There's like 36 children, and they live in 2 little shacks, and his mom takes care of them. And they cook over an open fire, and they have pasha, which is like cornmeal. That's like their breakfast and their lunch and their suppers, and they add like fish and stuff to it. But that's their main staple. It's kind of like oatmeal. It's very thick and hard to stir. Mm-hmm. They really enjoyed my hair. As soon as I took my hat off, they're like, what? It's a little shorter now, but you know, that's okay. Sometimes I felt bad teaching them all these young children's songs, but they all enjoyed it, so. This one is Singing in the Rain. It's something I learned in Scouts, and they all seemed to like that one. And then I taught them the Hokey Pokey, because who doesn't like the Hokey Pokey? Yeah. And the girls right now are wearing the dresses from the Dress Girl program. Yeah. So there are little communities right off of Lake Victoria, and there's about 95% of the adult population have AIDS, so that's why there's lots of orphans, and so they do their best for them. It was nice that we could contribute to them and help out a little bit. That's me in the cookhouse trying to stir their pasha. The driver, he took us around to the little community and showed us the school that was in the community there, and their church, and showed us the lake, and that's me standing in Lake Victoria, because that's what I do. Very beautiful place. The people there are amazing. This is just a big picture of all of us at the orphanage. Yeah. Is there anything else to say about that? No. This is the van we drove in from the villa. It actually started on fire, like the last night, day before we left to come home. They accidentally pressure washed the inside of it. We took it to a new car wash, and the guy at the car wash washed inside his van. Yeah, so a little bit more. This is more pictures of our villa, the Tusubiria Villa, where Isaac and Sharon were the owners, and they're beautiful people. This is Sharon here. She actually goes around with a program called Give a Girl a Voice, where they provide menstruation packages or bags for the ladies and teach them about menstruation for the ladies, the lady cycle, which is very important for them. This is the dormitory where the girls stay, and recently I built it. They hadn't put the parging on yet, so they got to put the parging on. The school has its own well. Randy's gave them enough money to put their own well, which is very important. It helps the community. We'd be walking down the road, and they just graded the road, and the water, they cut a water line, and so there'd be like water flowing, and there's just a lineup of people with their gas cans. That's what they use to bring their water around. And this is just some pictures of the school as it was being finished. So Nathan and I had to leave. Pastor Randy and Fred stayed for a couple more weeks. So we didn't get to see the finished product, but we got pictures. And they had a lot of fun there too. On our last day before we left, we went on a boat ride on Lake Victoria and got to see the mouth of the Nile. It's actually like a spring that bubbles up in the middle of the lake. And there's actually two Nile rivers, the Blue Nile and the Brown Nile, and blue and the white. And we were on the White Nile. And the Nile is known for its papyrus. That's what you hear about in the Bible for their paper and stuff. So Pastor Randy was very excited. He said he read about papyrus all throughout his life, and he finally got to see it in real life, and it was kind of cool, just growing on the shores. And this is just the workers. They're just finishing off the school. I don't know. How big is it, Nathan? How big is it?
73 feet by 20, and then about another 20-foot overhang.
So just recently we learned that they actually put their desks outside under the overhang. But yeah.
And then on the inside, instead of framing the walls, we ran aircraft cable and heavy curtains as dividers, so they can separate their classrooms, or if they're having a big function, they can just open it wide open.
Yeah. So this is it, all nicely painted with the tin on the roof. It's very important to have shade. It was so nice to have shade. We take a lot of breaks during our.
Oh, you need a lot of water.
Well, even with the drills, they would get hot, so we have to wait for the drills to cool down. So we would sit in the shade and hang out with the kids. This is back at our villa. That they had a little. This is where you ate supper. They're very ingenious with their furniture. Old tires with rope on it. There's your chair. Oh, this is the boat ride before the day before we left. Yeah. No, it was a great thing. Very important with the team. Pastor Randy, he spent all of his days going to town looking for materials because they don't have a Home Depot where you could just source out all the material at once. You got to go to all these different stores and buy your wood sticks and your screws at another, your screw guns. He ended up buying a drill so we could drill the concrete. Then we had to use a generator. That was fun. They don't have extension cords in Uganda. They take their wires and they strip them, and then they stick it in the socket.
It's also all like 240 volt.
Yeah. So when we first got to the villa, we gave everybody some Leathermans, the drivers that drove us from the airport. And then we gave one to the cook. And the cook, he used his all the time. He was stripping wires, and he was kind of a jack of all trades. His name was Russell. And, did he make some good food. We don't have a picture of the fish and chips, do we? Oh. So the very first day, we're like, we got to order something to eat for supper. And we're like, well, fish and chips sounds like okay. It was a tilapia fish, a whole fish, this big, and french fries. Or potatoes cut up. That was fish and chips. The food was excellent, though. I would recommend. And, yeah. Food, the people, I don't know. It was all good. It was such a joy.
It was an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
God wanted you to go, apparently.
That's right. Pastor Randy's planning on going back in
2027?
2027. We just don't know if we can do that yet.
We can pray that will happen.
Yes. Yeah, he wants to build one of the other buildings. He wants to finish fixing the first one. It's all timber frames on the inside, and what we were supposed to do was go in and make a new block form and make a new building around this old building. But when we got there, the principal was like, actually, we need to move it over about 5 feet, but it's on a concrete pad. And we're like, well, that's going to take more than 3 weeks. So we ended up building it on the basketball court that was existing. They'd already had poured this concrete slab, and that's why we had to drill a lot of holes for 3 weeks. But yeah, so he wants to go back and do some more fixing up. They got a nice fence now and a gate, and yeah, new desks. They also bought a sewing machine for them, which was very nice. So some of the teachers can teach there's girls and boys that stay all the time at the school in the dormitories, and they can teach the girls how to sew, because that's something you gotta know, I guess. I'm not good at sewing at all. Yeah, but there's lots of cool. I think all the kids really enjoyed it. Like they would come over and they're always like, "Oh, what are you doing? Can I help?" And they're wearing nothing on their feet, and you're like, "Don't touch the bricks." I don't want you to get hurt. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was amazing. It was at the right time. We were meant to go. It was eye-opening to see a new culture and to see all the people and how they just spread the word. And yeah, I was lucky enough to go to a church service. We weren't allowed to stay the whole time, but they were so exuberant in their service. Like, we came in and you got the music pumping. They got their little electric piano going and some kind of turntable, and they're just dancing and singing. Yeah, it was great to see. Yeah. That's good. We'll let you go. Nice and short and sweet.
So we can talk for hours about it. If anybody wants to ask more questions, by all means, afterwards we can tell you more.
We were lucky enough. Our son gave us some money, and our focus was the school. So we would like to have gone on a game drive, and we're like, well, we'd like to do that, but school comes first. This is why we're here. And we're lucky there was enough time in our schedule at the end to go for 2 days on a game drive up in Murchison Falls, which is in northern Uganda. And we were lucky enough to see all the animals that we wanted to see. Lions, leopards, elephants, warthogs, hippos, crocodiles. Yeah, it was a blessing that we got to experience that too. And the only time we were hot is when we were on the game drive. And that's when the mosquitoes came out. There was not really mosquitoes where we were, but when we went to northern Uganda, the mosquitoes became there, and it was hot. So now we're wearing long sleeve shirts, you're sweating, and you gotta put all your mosquito stuff back on. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But we were very, very blessed to stay where we were. The villa was amazing. The people there were truly inspiring.
What is their language down there?
English.
Just English.
Well, their main language, so they're a British colony, and so their main language was English. All the signs were in English. They did speak Afrikaans, and there was different dialects. Talking to the one teacher, he came from northern Uganda, and he's like, it's hard because I don't speak the same language as the kids in the Afrikaans. And so he was like, oh, well, it's a learning experience. I'm learning, they're learning. But yeah, no, it was English, which was really nice.
Yeah, all the signage was pretty much in English, which was nice. So.
Yeah.
Are the people in Uganda affected very much by the civil war in Sudan?
It didn't really seem to come up very much. There was never not really any concerns that we heard of.
The only concern was, you got to be wary of the police. That's all. The police aren't your friendliest people.